Greetings, this is Slosh and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. In the last episode I found out that you get to make new characters as you go. You don't just have to pick pre-made ones, and became very happy.
Yeah.
So just to restate everything, we have Slosh here, who I very well may edit his name if there's ever a way that I can actually do that. I'm not quite sure if you can or not. So we have Slosh, who is a level 2 monk. We have Aloth, who is a level 2 wizard. We have Lips McGee, our level 1 female barbarian, who is a fellow Owl same as Slosh. They almost look like they could be friends. And we have Tidal Johnson, who is a giant moon godlike priest. He's moon godlike. He likes the moon. Tidal. It's made perfect sense to me. So there we go. Alright. I actually just noticed we have a benevolent reputation up there, and we got that for resting, I think. So let's get out of here. I don't think there's anything else we can do in here, so we may as well leave.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
So we'll gather everyone over here. Oh man, I'm so stoked we have all 4 people now. We might even... Should we go down and check out how hard it is down in that temple? Maybe that's what we should do now. Should we talk to the villager? Careful if you head east. Guards patrol the Easternwood, but not the Black Meadow. Okay, so what else have we got here? We have a dude here we can talk to. That's the road south. That's the road west. There's a person there called Orfra. There's a windmill. There's the road east. There's the Black Hammer Smithery. So I guess we're going to be able to buy weapons and stuff there. And there's Ingrid's house there. I'd kind of like to head back here. Got to get used to moving the map with this. I am thinking I'm going to move some of these keys, but I'm not going to do it just yet.
Looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Okay, Ida. That is a strange way to talk about those dead people. He looks up at the tree and breathes out. Half the town's up there now, seems like. No right way to talk about it. I'm looking for someone who can help me feel better. He gives an understanding nod as he takes a long drag from his pipe. My condolences. He exhales and turns his attention away, watching the village around him. I'm confused. Weren't you going to be able to help? Oh, look, we can talk to her. How weird. Her name's in purple. I don't know what that means. If any of you guys know what that means, can you tell me? The squat distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bough that sags at the tug of her noose. The bloated purple flesh of her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the rope that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. That's disgusting. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there is a tepid warmth to it, and you feel somehow that you could reach out and touch it, not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimension. This is for some reason, guys. I don't know if any of you read It by Stephen King. It reminds me of when the kids reach out to the monster in the book, and it's kind of it's not explained in physical terms. It's like reaching out and grabbing on to its tongue, I think it is, and telling it a joke. It's really hard to explain, but this is kind of giving me the same feeling of like an intangible kind of part of yourself that you can control, but only in certain situations. Anyway, sorry, that's a bit of a ramble. So this is Caldara de Baranzi. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out towards the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with a new, unfamiliar awareness. Before I go on, do you think that witnessing that ritual that killed the other people, do you think that's what's given us these new powers? Do you think that we've unwittingly got something out of that, taken some part of the spirit or some part of what the ritual was going for, and that's why it's made us important? I don't know. I'm getting that kind of feeling, though. Once you've expanded enough to reach her, there is a sudden jolt to your mind, a ringing electric surge of images and words and sounds. There's so much reading in this one. I have to keep drinking water so I don't start going crazy. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. And when you open them again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded in a milky fog, her body still swaying in a wind you no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so, and she smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost? It is both, I think. Yes?
Oh, I didn't expect there to be voice acting there. The voice acting in this is really, really good. I'm not just going to blurt out, I think I survived a beer wick. Just straight. I'm going to say, I need to understand something that's happened to me. She nods, a look of pity on her face as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there.
She nods.
You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
I absolutely love her voice. I love the sound effect where it feels like it's kind of being sucked away into the void, like each syllable's like being stolen as she says it. What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair, and here we are visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on, some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on, and those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either leaving or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how.
Okay, so those two people in the tavern in the last episode, I guess they were souls that we could see, but no one else could. I guess maybe the highlighted names indicate that they're not real flesh and blood people, maybe?
A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder!
What do you mean when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
She smiles at you reassuringly, fanning out a tuft of long whiskers that sprouts from one of her cheeks.
You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
Okay, so that's somewhere where we're definitely going to go. Thank you for that. I'm going to say I think I survived a beer wick. Do you know why that would be? Also, I've just got to bring this up while I'm thinking of it. Are the rest of the people in my party watching me talk to people that don't exist, thinking I'm going crazy, kind of like, all the people in Fight Club when he's talking to nobody? So, do all my party members who I've just met, am I literally just looking like a crazy person to them?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing. Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me now.
Yeah, unfortunately. You're taking this being hung in a tree, lynched, pretty well actually. So what do you mean souls break apart over time?
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again, but less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. No. A very small few resist Remergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
Fair enough. Before I go, there's just something I'd like to know about you.
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though.
What happened to you? She laughs, a rasping, choked cackle escaping between rows of buttery yellow teeth, causing her body to bob up and down with each spasm. Seeing your blank expression, she catches herself.
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer. Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife, see why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months, looked high and low for impurities, tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found?
No, but could you tell me?
Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up.
On a completely different tangent, I don't know if any of you guys listened to Tell 'em Steve Dave, one of the podcasts from the Kevin Smith Smodcast Network. Years ago, Walt and Brian and BQ did a reading of a book that Brian's mum had written, and Walt acted the role of Wolf, a kind of pedophile, I guess you'd call it. And the way he did his voice reminds me a lot of this woman. It's a really strange thing.
A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are. But the best of us? The best? Inspirations. Miracle workers. My parents were soul twins. Miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other. Turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian Republics for many things. But their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear.
I'm just going to click on... I had other questions just to see if there's any other ones available. I'm going to say farewell.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Caldara closes her eyes and her head slumps forward over the noose, and your surroundings seem to bleed into your vision from some unknown place of waiting. Aloth looks at you through narrowed eyes. Are you alright? You seemed lost just now. I'm just going to say, are you okay? I'm a watcher. His arched eyebrows recede into his hood. Well, that is interesting. He gives you a sly grin, and I expect that explains how you survived a beer week. In any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we're travelling together, it's probably wise for us to share these things. Do you know anything about watchers? I literally just heard about them for the first time. Only that they're rare, and that they seem to have unique insights into certain soul conditions. He coughs, as you just demonstrated. Let's continue on. There we go. Okay, so we are here I'd like to go check out the
17
temple.
and a half.
What? 17 and a half what?
Eh?
Did you level? So, okay, so we can see. Now, he's pretty close to leveling. He's pretty close to leveling. She's pretty far. Pretty far. That's okay. Let's go down here. Now, let's see how bad I do at running a whole party. I am a bit... And I keep trying to do that. God, I've got to learn to do it this way. Okay. Everybody.
Nice and quiet.
Now, one of my friends who has been playing this today said he walked in here and he wasn't using his search to start with, and he really regretted that. Now, let's just, before we go any further, we are going to jump into the auto pause because we're going to check. Yeah, okay, so low endurance, low health, enemy spotted, weapon ineffective, and hidden object found. It is going to pause. I don't know if I'm going to keep the hidden object found. I feel that's going to be something that might be a little bit annoying. Okay, I don't know who's seeing us. Okay, it's a fairly big map. I think I'm going to go this way first. I'm going to go as slow as I possibly can. So that's not hidden, I guess, because it didn't pause. We'll take that. Now there's something up here. Now that didn't pause. Okay, so it's paused, but that hasn't seen us yet. Okay, so let's have a look. There's a will-o'-the-wisp there.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is, let's just have a look at this. Is it once per rest? That's what I probably should have worked out about these spells. Let's just quickly do this. No, that's not going to tell us. I do wonder. We'll find out actually as we go here, so that's okay. We are still paused. Let us get this dude here who has his level 1 pre-spell, so I'm just going to have a look through here. Got Blessing and Halt, Meditation, Prayer Against Fear. So that's Restore Minor Endurance. Do we have any healing? It doesn't appear that we actually have any healing spells. Interesting. Unless this is Holy Radiance. Okay, so that heals Endurance. Burning any vessels in the vicinity and regenerating a modest amount of endurance for allies. Okay, so that's cool. So that's going to do that. I'm just going to get him to go and attack that one. We're going to get him to... I'm going to do this just to see how it works. Slosh is going to go and punch that one, and she has frenzy, but we're not going to do that. It is one per encounter only, but it's not. We're not in combat yet, so we're going to make it slow, and we haven't even been seen yet. Oh, you know, combat started now because we've started doing stuff. They've seen Aloth. Okay, so that went like that. Something's happening. Okay. The Will-o'-the-Wisp's bolt hits Tidal Johnson for 15 and grazes with additional effect. So confused and interrupted Tidal Johnson. Okay. So he is confused. Well, that's Aloth anyway. Confused for 5 seconds. Okay, so let's just have a look and see if we can see what that means. We can't. That's all right. So he's out of the fight for a little bit. There's one there. What is that? That Tidal Johnson. He's confused as well. We're just going to keep punching on here. I don't think we've been wounded yet. And we'll get Aloth to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, so we can't select these guys here because they're confused. Okay, that's all right. Okay, that one's down.
I'm here.
We can select him now. So we're just going to get him to attack that guy. We're going to get her to... It's once per encounter. So let's Frenzy. He's still confused, and he can just punch on, so that's fine. Okay, and then she can do that. All of her stats have changed now, so she's pretty badass. So let's see what this does. Okay, I'm just going to give this a red hot crack just to see what it does.
It's not working!
Okay, let's have a look here. Tidal Johnson activates Holy Radiance. So that is not hitting any of us. Okay, it's a bit weird, but there you go. She is about to die. Why is she about to die? Let's see if we have any actually healing spells. This is weird that we don't have any healing spells. I think that's only going to hit our friends, which is okay. The Will-O-the-Wisp is actually being a bit hard for us to beat, so we're going to do that. She is confused now. He is back, though. That's a good thing. So we've got the magic missiles, which we can continue doing. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so he did 16 damage with them. Okay. We might have to take off this weapon ineffective thing. This might be something that doesn't work well here, because as you can see, it's pausing every time that doesn't hit the rest of us. So Lips is pretty hurt.
How may I help?
I do not understand. It's auto-pausing for low endurance for Lips McGee. That's okay, everything seems kind of fine. Now, she did get really hurt. But that's her endurance going up, and her health is kind of okay. Don't seem to have any... It surprises me that there doesn't appear to be any healing spells. Have I gone crazy? Are we supposed to have healing spells, but we're just not seeing them, or something else? So let's get everybody to go over there. Have a look at that. Have a look at that. The parchment is worn and tattered, and the ink upon it faded. In this time of hardship, must have just as much faith in ourselves. Alright, so there's that one over there, but I'm pretty sure we already searched that. That was really weird. That kind of got out of control really quickly. So, can't see any more items to loot there. And I'm not quite sure how close you have to be for the hidden items to show up. But, there you go. Okay, so there's a spider there. I'm actually going to move everybody back over here. And I'm going to give something a bit of a red hot crack. I'm going to chuck Slosh over there. I'm going to chuck Tidal Johnson. No, just you. Just Tidal Johnson up here. This is Lips McGee. We're going to put her there, and we're going to get him to do the level 1 spells. Now, I'm really not sure how we work out how many spells we have available, but there you go. So we're going to get him to sneak in here and to do magic missiles at the thing. Okay, let's pause it again. So it's going to pause it every single time we do that, and I'm really not sure if that's what we want. Okay, and it's pausing for combat start. Oh, it just died. How good was that? That went way better than I was expecting. That thing just got absolutely slaughtered. We are nowhere near that crate. Why did we pick that up now? Initiate's note. The parchment is relatively intact, but the ink upon it is faded. Visitors to the ritual floor, Rectrix Obrica says. I guess it would be redemption for even these. Forgot and struck the larger spell first rather than the second. The rest is illegible. Okay, so we'll take that. I guess they're close enough to do it. I wouldn't have said they were, but... Camping supplies. No, I didn't pick them up. I did. Good. That's everything there. Have a look. I'm feeling like this is the way to go first. So we're going to go south. I'm hoping this isn't the really big room. I think we are going to end up changing our pause settings pretty soon, because this is getting a bit out of control. So as before, I'll chuck over there. I'll run her to... No, we'll do that. Put all of them over there. And we'll get him to... He's used them all. How can I tell how many he gets? Sorry guys, I'm just having a look around here, seeing if I can work out what's going on. Okay, so... I guess... He gets 3, I guess? 3 of them per day? I can't actually see where it's indicating that. Have I gone crazy or something? Or did it say 2 on it before and we've used them all? That might have been what's happened. So we've actually used all of them. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to run in here. And what we're going to do is he's going to punch that one.
Yeah.
She's going to frenzy and then attack. Oh, she's got a frenzy first.
Yes?
Okay, it's actually a move that she's going to have to do. So he can hit that one.
How may I help?
And he can hit that one. Or should we just all go all out on that one first? Probably a good idea. Okay, so she's frenzied now. Brilliant. Let's see. Oh, look at her go. Okay, and then everybody can just do this, and it should be over in basically a heartbeat. Oh, how good was that? Okay, so our endurance is coming back. That definitely happens pretty quickly after a fight. And the health, I guess the green bar on the side is our actual health. And the whole character screen is the
Steady does it.
is the endurance. I know I should know this. Oh, there's another one over there. Let's just all run and get him, eh? Done. There is a big one there, though.
Eh?
Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to get him to attack that one. That one. That one. That one. As soon as combat starts, I'm going to get her to go into frenzy.
Useless.
And she's frenzied now, so she can run over and hit the big one. Okay, we have paused because our weapon is ineffective against the spider. What? Why? That's gonna be something we're gonna have to change. We're gonna have to change that right now. We may put that on later in the game, but at the moment that's becoming way too much of an issue. Slow mode is active. Let's see if he can use his thing yet. He can't. No swift strikes just yet. Crucible of the Soul. The Watcher unravels the vital essence of his or her enemies, gaining endurance in the process. So, let's get him to do that one and see what happens. I'm just intrigued by this. Okay. That spinner hit me for 16, and I saw before it hit Tidal Johnson for 21. Crazy. So we've earned 12% of our bestiary progress for the ivory spinners. Cool.
Yeah.
And he's kind of got his scepter, just it's a range thing where that's actually pretty cool as well. So our endurance is going to go... Our health is pretty low. Their health is pretty low.
Yes?
His health is only 108. Is that because I made his stuff so low? His constitution. Okay, yeah, that's why that is. It's probably might turn out to be a mistake. So let's have a look at this. Whoever sat here left in a hurry. Ink has dripped all over the scroll, obscuring its contents. So we'll just clear this room. We'll probably end the episode here. There's a letter home. Mother, I have asked Brother Edric to carry this letter to you, for he travels to New Hyoma come morning. With him goes what coin I have, and I hope it will ease the surprise of an unexpected homecoming. For I mean to follow in a few days' time. Our village is much changed, and though I do not wish for you to worry, I do not feel it is safe to remain. I know Rectrix Paprika will not approve, but the letter trails off here. So that dude was basically trying to get out just as they came in. This pile of furniture is branded with scorch marks.
Look at this.
That's the first time we found something secret. So what we're going to do, guys, is we are going to stand here. I'm going to say this is the end of the episode. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Any hints, suggestions, or comments, please do leave them down below. I do apologise for my knowledge of the combat. I am getting better as I go, and learning out how to play, working out how to play properly. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. I'll see you guys next time.